Good afternoon, everybody. I am Krista McGee,
And I'm Alan Gazaway.
and we are here talking about Juneteenth for Donate Life Kentucky
Yes.
in honor of this
New
federal holiday.
Should have been done a long time ago, though, but
So the last federal holiday that was made was Martin Luther King Day in 1983. Fun fact.
Wow.
Yep. So today we are eating. First of all, I know you all can see it. We have a new microphone, so hopefully we will not have any sound problems today. We can read your comments right here because we're using my computer today instead of Alan's.
Sorry, I had new stuff.
So we'll see how this one goes today.
Okay.
So today we have food from...
It's Lucretia's Kitchen. It is on 18th and Muhammad Ali. I don't have the exact... I will put the address, though, in the comments, y'all. I'm telling you, I had to drive here with this stuff in the truck, and yeah.
Yeah, it smells good. Is that a piece of cornbread?
It is. I know, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, oh my gosh.
Exactly.
I wish y'all here.
You know
yep, go ahead and do it.
Because we got to make sure y'all can see.
It's crazy.
That whiting, mac and cheese, some sweet yams, and the cornbread that Chris was talking about, y'all, like, legit.
And I got greens, fish, and coleslaw, which also looks delicious. So we're here today talking about Juneteenth and just kind of what it means for us, what it means, for our community as well. So people automatically, they don't think organ donation, Juneteenth has any parallels, but I personally think it does.
I do as well, because you got to think about it. Like, as we already know, the Black and brown community is the most underrepresented. Well, how about, let me make sure this right. We need this. And it's like, we need to make sure everybody's aware about it on a couple of different levels. The organ donation side of things, but also getting awareness about Juneteenth and everything too. So I feel this is like a perfect little blend into the two.
Yeah, and I think, so I'm from Western Kentucky, so my perspective is a little bit different than Alan's. This food, go get you some. Go find Lucretia right now because it's good. I'm from Western Kentucky, and my granddad is a descendant of slaves. My family still lives on the land that was given to us 100 years ago. So over in Western Kentucky, things are a little bit different because the date that I know is actually August 8th.
August 8th, yes.
So my neck of the woods didn't find out about the Emancipation Proclamation basically until even after Juneteenth. So we were talking and we were discussing like how we were going to tie this in. And basically it boils down to the dissemination of information, especially in Black and brown communities. I'm about to buy another one of these.
Go for it. Mm-hmm. All right. So look, how about this? I'm going to give y'all like a brief history. So look, I'm multitasking. Okay. Got a little food in front of me. I got my notes too though. And I'm an old teacher, so I can do this. I used to do this all the time. So just so y'all are aware, Juneteenth pretty much came around after the Emancipation Proclamation came through. It was pretty much when Lincoln, I'm going to keep some comments to myself, went through and pretty much, let's go this route. The 13th Amendment came about, which pretty much gave Black people citizenship. We became citizens in the U.S. at that point in time, although we already know there's history behind that as well too, though. But at that point, that's when we were supposed to be free. Of course, there's always a way to slow down progress, we should say, as we see all the time. As we just saw the fact that Juneteenth celebration, that it just became an official holiday. That should show you signs like, things kind of move when they wanted to move. So when the proclamation went through, at that point, everybody should have been free. But, you had to go through the process. You had to go through and make sure Congress and the Senate and get approval.
And then the Union and the Confederacy were separate at that time as well. So you got to think about all of that context that goes into it too.
Exactly, because the way our government is set up, you got to love it though. Although they were separated though, in order for this to go through, they actually had to get them they needed that voting strength still from those states that decided to secede from the Union. So there was a lot going on with that. So what ended up happening was, I got my notes on to make sure I don't goof this up though. But again, so Lincoln, September 1862, signed it saying that January the 1st, 1863, it should go into full effect. But then what happened is from that point on, African Americans started to actually escape from the South, and they would find their ways to like army troop, like their camps and whatnot, just to get freedom. So that's how you can see there's Black people fighting on both sides of the Civil War, because they literally was fighting for their freedom. That's how they got out. So when that went through, again, Congress passes January then 31st, 1865. So then we're up to 1865. This is where it started to go through. It went through the ratification process. All the states got on board who needed to get on board. Everything went through. They got the 3/4 votes needed. But what happened? The good old state of Texas decided to say no. They were fighting it. So then what happened is they had to get federal troops in there to actually enforce this new law that was in place. So what happened is that actually took place. So the people in Texas on June the 19th,
1865,
finally got word that, okay, enough is enough, we're free. So then going to fast forward to what Crystal was talking about as to why come in Kentucky, there's a different date. Since Kentucky never seceded from the Union, they didn't have to follow those rules. So it just took them a little longer to kind of go into effect. And actually, another, if you want to call it a fun fact, in Kentucky, they actually did not officially, let me make sure I got this right. They didn't officially ratify it until 1976. So 111 years later, that is when Kentucky finally was like, okay, that's right, let's go ahead and do this. So just want to make sure we threw that stuff out there. All right, but go for it.
Another fun fact is that my granddad was Farmer of the Year around the same time. So I'm going to talk to him about him a lot today, just because I feel like he is one of the main reasons that I do what I do, talking about organ donation, kidney health, and things like that. So my granddad was a farmer. His family were farmers. His family were farmers. Their family were like, everybody's been farmers. So we actually had gotten, I don't know where it happened. And I actually found out the other day that McGee possibly might be down the street in Pembroke from where I'm from. There was an old plantation, and they found a headstone there with the last name McGee. So that might be where my family came from. But fast forward to my granddad, he was not a slave. His parents were not slaves. Their parents were sharecroppers. So they basically were in the same spot. They couldn't move. So even after they found out, they stayed where they were at. Fast forward down the line, my granddad was a farmer from basically birth. So he never learned how to read. He never learned how to write. And I am so thankful that he busted his ass so I could be here today to talk to you all about him and to talk to you all about kidney health as well. So fast forward years later, after we're talking about all of this stuff, my granddad was on dialysis. And he was never told his options. So that's where at the beginning I was talking about the dissemination of information. So sometimes in our communities, there's still breakdowns. My granddad obviously can't read, so he was just getting his medical stuff from professionals, and they did not tell him about that thing, and I can only imagine if that's his story, how many other stories are like this. I mean, even especially like even in the Black communities, but rural in general. So there are people that are getting left behind. And they don't necessarily know about all this kidney stuff either, which is very key to know. Take care of your kidneys is not something that was repeated where I'm from. It's not talked about. And going back to talking about Juneteenth and slavery and things like that too, a lot of the food that we eat comes from that era as well. I mean, even now, like we're eating collard greens, fried fish, and collard greens, which it is delicious. But I like even me. So a couple months ago, I had a health scare that basically told me I need to watch what I'm eating because of my kidneys. My granddad had a problem. My grandma had kidney problems, diabetes, all that stuff. So I have to watch what I eat now too. And I'm sure that his parents had to watch that, or they didn't know Actually, not that they didn't think about it. They just probably did not know because dissemination of information.
Correct. And that's going to be like, that's where we are. That's what we do. That's like the drive behind us personally in this mission. I mean, we each have additional personal ties, but the fact is we want to make sure that everyone has the ability to know about the information that's out there, to make sure they can make those informed decisions, because no one should be able to tell someone they can't do something or they don't have the ability to do something because of X, Y, and Z. So that's one thing we already talked about, like in our last talk. This is just a complete opposite of it. People don't even know that they need to do certain things, need to watch certain things. It's pretty much us trying to get out in the community to make sure everybody knows this stuff. And like, this is a perfect thing because how Juneteenth is now becoming a big thing. It's something that should have been celebrated years ago, as we know. But some things, again, like I said, it just takes a slower way to get to it. And although this is a slow start, we're out here to kind of spread the information. It's like, this is a twofold kind of thing. Like, let's make sure we're talking about our culture and make sure we're understanding, and also let other people get into that part. And then also making sure we're getting ourselves, although I have this in front of me,
right,
making sure we're living healthier lives and making sure we're doing stuff to actually make sure that our people have the chance just to survive. That's pretty much what all this is about.
Yeah. So the key takeaway from this is culture is important.
Mm-hmm.
Having conversations like this is important.
Even over a good meal. Like, granted, we have a camera though, but literally you can talk to your friends, your family, whatever, over a meal. Like, sometimes just the food helps, because those awkward moments, just chew on something though, and then think about what you need to say, and then just come back and keep having the conversation. Like, we've got to get to everybody. We got to get to a point to where it's okay to have those tough conversations, because when we don't have them, we have them too late.
Right.
And we just got to get away from that aspect of it though. So we're trying to do little simple stuff like this. Like, I know it's our lunchtime break. Literally, we're about to go back into some meetings and stuff though. But we just wanted to hop in here just to make sure everyone knows that, like, this is something that you can do with your friends, your family, whoever the case may be, whatever information you got. Hit us up. We can even give you more information if you need to though. But
I mean, just like, even thinking about like what we just said about what we're eating fried foods. I literally just pointed out, I'm not supposed to be, I got to lay off on this stuff because my kidneys might not act right. So you can say little things like that. Just make sure that, you're being respectful and thinking about how everything can tie in. Like, everything is connected. I think that that's probably what organ donation and transplantation has taught me the most, is that there are so many connections. And you never know where you're going to find one, or where you're going to think about where the next connection is. So, got anything else?
I want to eat the rest of my food.
Yeah,
That's really.
We're about to turn these cameras off and go in.
I've been trying to get all cute and stuff right now, because I ain't gonna judge me though. But when this goes off,
right. I like your shirt too, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I had to make sure I gave it up for the Black Ranger. On this special occasion.
Shout out to the Power Rangers. I feel like we do a shout out every video. Shout out to the Power Rangers. Also, shout out to Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated.
And the Brothers of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated.
Z5, so sweet. Thank you all for joining us. Oh, probably the mic's probably a lot right now. Sorry. So thank you all for joining us. We will see you all on the next edition of Don't Talk With Your Mouth Full. Thank you all. See you.
Bye.